Hola a todos. En la clase de hoy vamos a aprender algunas cositas sobre la preposición en del español. Hi everybody, in this class I will talk about the preposition in Spanish, right? The preposition in corresponds to in, at, on, right? So that makes it very easy. La preposición en del español es una preposición que corresponde a estas tres preposiciones del inglés. Por eso es más fácil de usar. It's easy. Why? Think of it like this. I'm a native Spanish speaker, right? I'm learning English. And then suddenly I'm wondering which preposition I should use in such or such situation. Should I use in, at, or on, right? Should I say in the internet, or at the internet, or on the internet, right? Or I'm at the house, or in the house, or on the house, okay? Well, perhaps on the house is pretty obvious. In Spanish, for any case, we use in. So there's not this dilemma as there is for Spanish speakers when they are struggling to know whether to use at, in, or on. In Spanish, we just use in. So let's take a look at some examples using in, right? We can use in like inside something, like here. La pelota está en la caja. La pelota está en la caja. The ball is in the box. Caja is box. Another word for pelota is bola. Okay, bola. Some Spanish-speaking countries prefer use the word pelota more, and some others use the word bola. Okay, in my case, in my country, we use the word pelota, but both words are synonyms. Okay, pelota or bola. Okay, now let's say this is on the internet. Esto está en internet. Esto está en internet. This is in internet, or on the internet, or whatever. There's another word for the internet, okay? We can say en la red. La red, the network, okay? But the word internet, which is an English word, is already quite universal. So we usually use the word internet rather than a Spanish word, right? Esto está en internet. Now let's say that somebody is at his place, okay? At his home. In Spanish we say él or ella, right? Él está en su casa. Él está en su casa. He is at his home, right? He is at his home. So su is the possessive adjective, right? His. If I wanted to say he is at the home or in the house, I would say él está en la casa, okay? Él está en la casa, he is in the house, right? So in English, we have to think, okay, shall I use the preposition at or in, right? In Spanish, we always use in, so you don't have to waste time in the dilemma thinking which preposition to use. It's simply in. Ok, él está en su casa o él está en la casa. Vamos ahora a cambiar un poquito esta frase. Now let's change this sentence a little bit. Let's pass it to plural. Vamos a pasarla al plural. Ellos están, they are. Ellos están en sus casas. They are in their houses. They are in their houses or they are at their homes. Okay? So this can either be they are at their homes or they are in their houses. Okay? Since in Spanish we only have this single preposition, it has all those variations in the meaning. Okay? Ellos están en sus casas. Sus, of course, is the plural for su. Su casa is singular, sus casas is plural. Okay, another example. Let's see. El perro se echó en el sofá. El perro se echó en el sofá. Echó is past tense for the third person and the singular of the verb echar. Echar is to lay something or to lie also, okay? Echar. So the dog laid on the sofa, right? On the sofa. So, el perro se echó en el sofá can either be in the sofa or on the sofa, right? En el sofá. Of course, we can also use other prepositions. We can say sobre. Sobre is more specific to say on, right? El perro se echó sobre el sofá. The dog laid on the sofa, okay? However, if you simply use our beloved preposition in, it's also fine, right? Because in is also fine for any of these situations, for in, at, or on, okay? So, usually we can also use in when we use on something, okay? Except when it is something very obvious, like for example, the telephone is on the table. El teléfono está sobre la mesa, ¿ok? El teléfono está sobre la mesa. The telephone is on the table. So this is something quite obvious. So we have no doubt here that we are implying on something. So we usually use sobre instead of en. So we say el teléfono está sobre la mesa to say the telephone is on the table. Mesa means table. So sobre means on. So this sobre would be the more precise, the more correct preposition to imply that the telephone is on the table, right? However, we can still use the preposition in. We can say el teléfono está en la mesa. El teléfono está en la mesa. Right? Why? Because the preposition in, which can mean inside, it's not necessarily inside with the same emphasis or exclusiveness as the preposition in is in English, okay? If I say the telephone is in the table. The preposition in English is implying that the telephone is inside the table, okay? In Spanish, the implication of inside something with the preposition in is not as that much, okay? And that is why we can use in so many situations. So therefore, in is one of the most useful prepositions in Spanish. So just let's read once more all these sentences. La pelota está en la caja. The ball is in the box. Or la bola está en la caja. Esto está en internet. Or esto está en la red. For this is on the internet. Él está en su casa. Or él está en la casa. For he is at his place, or he is at his home, or he is in the house. Ellos están en sus casas. They are at their homes, or at their places, or in their houses. El perro se echó en el sofá. Or el perro se echó sobre el sofá. For the dog laid on the sofa. Why do I use this reflexive pronoun? As I said before in one of the previous lessons, Spanish is full of reflexive verbs, okay? So to lie or to lay somewhere in Spanish we would say to lay oneself somewhere, okay? So if I want to say I lay on the bed, in Spanish I would literally be saying I lay myself on the bed, right? So the myself, the reflexive preposition, that is what we have here. Se is the reflexive preposition for he, right? For he or she or it, right? For the third person in the singular. In this case, el perro, the dog. The dog laid itself on the sofa. The telephone is on the table. El teléfono está sobre la mesa, or el teléfono está en la mesa. Okay? So, well, just this was a very simple lesson. I wanted to